Okay. Hello. Oh, I think I've got to maybe change this. I'm a little bit. Let's see if that's okay. I'm a little bit in the sun here. Maybe if I shift over this way. No, that doesn't work. Sorry, I should figure out how to get the sun out of my face. Okay, I think that's okay. So, hello and welcome to my first live with the Suburban Peasant. And I'm hoping that this is working. It is saying it's going live. Oh, and I see that one person's on there. I don't know where I see comments, but if you can comment that you can hear me and you can see me, I know that it's working then because I have no idea. Oh, okay, good. Yes, you guys can hear me and you can see me. Great. So, we are in my potting shed, and I guess I can talk a little bit about well, you know what? First, I want to introduce you again, if you didn't see her on the last video, to let me just grab her. There you. So this is Tulip. And we just got Tulip just about a week ago, a little over a week ago. And we've loved having her. She was a rescue. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. I'll set her down. She's got a little cushion down here. This is the first time that Tulip has been in the potting shed. So I have a little cushion down for her. And then if she starts getting into things, I will put her in her little crate. I have a little travel crate for her. So far she's good. She's just sitting on her little mat and loving life. But a little bit about Tulip. Our previous dog last year passed away from lymphoma. His name was Zorro. And so we were kind of looking for a new puppy, I guess, a new dog. We thought we were going to get a puppy. My husband has a little bit of allergies, so I thought, okay, we're just going to get like a hypoallergenic puppy. And I don't know, I wasn't even subscribed or liked the page on Facebook, but there was a rescue shelter that put up a picture of Tulip. Tulip's her name. Tulip is that's part of what I fell in love with. Tulip was her name that was given to her by the shelter, not by me, which just was to me another sign that she was meant to be our dog. And I just saw her sweet little face and I just thought she's the one. She's the dog we need. And we've never I've had a rescue before, but never with my husband. So this is the first rescue he's had. And she just from her description, they said how she just like loves people, and she does. She's just the sweetest dog. They found her skin and bones in a field. You saw how little she is. She only weighs 13 pounds. When they found her, she was only 8 pounds. And she's just fit in with our family so well. And she is exactly how they described her. She just loves everybody, is just the sweetest, calmest dog. And anyway, we're just happy to have her. And I'm sure you're going to see her in a lot of videos this summer, spring, summer, fall, when she's able to be outside with me. So we are in my potting shed, and this potting shed I've had for I think 2 years now. And we bought it ready made. It came off of, I found a guy on Facebook Marketplace that was making these. It's, I don't know the size. Honestly, I'm not good at, I'm spatially challenged. I don't know that I could say the size. Maybe 30 feet by 15 feet, something like that, 15 feet by 30 feet. It has a chicken coop on it, and that's partly why when I had him make it, I had him put a chicken coop on it, thinking, okay, I'm gonna put the chickens there. But where I ended up having to put this shed, based on the HOA rules, ended up being right on the edge of our hill. Our property sits on a hill. And where it is, I just could not figure out how to get them from the chicken coop that's attached to the shed into a run that's sort of on the hill. So I just thought that's going to be way too much work. And so we ended up getting the chicken tractor. And I think that worked out for the best because I'm in here quite a bit. and I don't know if it would just smell like chicken coop all the time. So I think in the end, that's one thing to think about if you're looking at one of these types of shed and you think I'll put the chicken coop on it, is just it might smell like chicken coop all the time. So I ended up just getting a chicken tractor, and the chicken coop I use now for storage, for my container gardening business, for all my like sticks and artificial and stuff like that. So, which I will give you a tour, like a proper tour of the shed, maybe this week, because I want to do a bit of a cleanup and a bit of decorating, and just, get it ready for spring basically. So I can give you a more in-depth tour. But this is the part that is set up to be like a greenhouse, and it's completely unheated. So I I don't think I would ever use it as a proper greenhouse, because it's kind of like there's only a short amount of time that it's actually very pleasant in here. It's nice through the winter actually, because on a sunny day I just run a small heater, and it's beautiful in here. Like it's, I don't know, probably 60 degrees in here right now, and it's actually really nice. When it is difficult to be in here is when it's the summertime because it can get so hot. I keep both the doors open, and I keep I'll open some of the windows, and it still gets really hot. So that is a big dream I have, is to be able to have a proper greenhouse that's, kind of climate controlled a little bit. Um, but that's way, way down the road. Right now, this suits me fine, and it's nice. It's nice to have just a little place where I can store all my things. I can start seeds. I can pot things up. It's right next to the vegetable garden, and that is one of my big projects this year, is my vegetable garden. So outside this door, I don't know if I've never done the live, so I don't want to move the camera because I don't know what's going to happen. But again, this week when I do about the shed, I will show you its orientation to the garden. But right outside the door is my current vegetable garden, which has 9 4x4 beds in it. And then I plan to, right outside the front here, expand the vegetable garden. And that is a big project that's happening this summer. So I'm hoping you guys can come along with me on that journey, because it is going to be a lot of work and a little bit of an unknown, because I am going to try to have a deer baffle. So it's kind of like a deer fence, but a little bit different. So I'm hoping that that works. It'll be a little bit of an experiment. So that is a big project coming up. So, oh, I see somebody else says hi. Hello, how are you? Gabriella Rodriguez. Hi. Nice to see you. Welcome to the potting shed. So today I thought I would do a little bit of a cleanup of my tools. And this is a great project to do during the winter, because then you're ready for spring, and it gives you a chance to feel like you're out in the garden without being out in the garden. We have about 3 feet of snow, if not more, on the ground. So there's nothing I can really do out in the garden right now. So I thought this would be a good project to have you guys along for. So what I'm going to start with first is I'm going to start, and I think I'm going to clean the pruners. So I love these Felco pruners. And actually, this pair is my sister's that she accidentally left here. So I'm going to clean it for her and give it back to her. Her birthday's on the 17th, so can go along with that. And so I'll be seeing her and I can bring them. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I brought some water. I'm going to spray them with these scrubbing bubbles. And the only reason I'm doing it with the scrubbing bubbles is I was watching a while ago on Garden Answer, and she was cleaning her tools and she used scrubbing bubbles. So I am not questioning it, and I'm just using scrubbing bubbles. Before, I've always just used an SOS pad, but I'm going to first soak them with the scrubbing bubbles. So I'm doing that just off of camera here, but it's just like a big foam. And I think it just helps to get some of the grease off. All right, so I have that going. And then I'm going to open, I have 2 types of sharpeners. I have this one, which is like the kind of like the Flintstone. And I'm going to use that for my larger tools. And then for the smaller tools, I bought this, which is just a sharpening tool for, it actually shows secateurs or clippers right on it. So I think we've got the right thing. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. All right, I'm going to just turn these little scrubbing bubble guys. It really foams up. Wow. All right. So next, I am going to grab my glass of wine because today is Super Bowl Sunday and everyone, I'm sure, is at, well, not everyone, not me. I don't really care about the Super Bowl, but it's a good chance to be outside, be in the sunshine, have a glass of water or glass of wine, and just avoid inside. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm actually going to light a little candle. I have this nice rose candle, and I want it to smell like summer in here. So I am going to do that. Actually, I'm not, because unless I find, well, I'll have to wait to do that. I got to find a match. I thought I brought matches out, but there was none in there. All right, I think these scrubbing bubbles are done. So you can see they got all the scrubbing bubbles. Now, I'm going to take a SOS pad and I'm just going to scrub them clean. And like I said, this is my first live and I have no idea what most people do when they're on a live. I know a lot of people do question and answer, but I didn't know that I'd have a lot of people on here to do a question and answer. So I'm just going to be doing a little bit of work and I'm hoping that you guys just want to sit and chill out with me in the garden shed. So I'm just going to use this time to get a few things done and talk to anybody who wants to talk. All right, so these are pretty scrubbed up. Oh, Tulip is going crazy around here. You want your toy? You could get your toy. Why don't you get your toy? So a little bit more about this shed is that it actually came delivered all in one piece. I had no idea what to expect, but he came with it on a truck. One guy on a truck, and he came with the shed, and he took it off with like a almost like a pallet jack. He just like walked it down my driveway. I will show pictures of that this week of like how it came off. It was actually really amazing to see, and he just like one guy just moved it right into place, and it was super easy. I had no idea what to expect, but it was actually really easy. I mean, and it's when it comes to like carpentry, it's a bit like, you know, kind of bush carpentry here. It's not perfect. There's a lot of gaps, you know, but for what the price was and you know, the ease of ordering and having just something, it's been good. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a fun little shed to have. Okay, so I went through and I just used the scrubbing bubbles and then I used the SOS pad to get in all of the nooks and crannies. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take this Felco spray. I buy the actual spray. You can use like WD-40 or whatever you want, but I use the actual. So, oh, you know what? Never mind. I forgot. I'm going to use the sharpening tool. So when you're sharpening blades, you want to do strokes that are just, let me see, I gotta find the bevel. Here's the bevel. I think I'm doing this right. Okay, so I'm just running it across the blade. I'm trying to get it right on the bevel. And you want to do one long stroke as opposed to like so that's what I'm doing here. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try and just take this off because I think it lost. Okay. All right, so hopefully I'm not on the mic anymore, but I'm just gonna have my cell phone audio, and I hope you guys can hear me. The mic died. Oh no, there it's going. I don't know. I don't know if this is working or not. Oh, hey, Bexar Evergarden. It's so nice to see you on here. Like, I've got a green light. Can somebody comment if they can hear me? Because I don't know if this mic is working or not. I have it said it was working, but then I have people saying that it's not. Okay, I am just going on the cell phone audio now. I hope you guys can hear me. And I don't know, something's up with the mic. I don't know if it lost power or what, but hopefully you guys can hear me now just through the cell phone. And I hope you guys can hear me okay. I will. Technology and me are not friends, but hopefully I can get that sorted for the next time. And also figure out how to be out of the sunlight so much. Okay, maybe I'll turn this way. All right, is that better? Okay, I think I just need to sit back further. Okay, here we go. So I can't see if anybody, okay. If anybody can let me know if they can hear me, that would be great. I'm trying to think of what, if anyone has any questions about the garden, myself, my plans for this year, anything, I'm happy to say. I'm going to work away on my little tools here. I can give you a little bit of background on me. So I'm Pauline, and I moved to Michigan 12 years ago, I think now. And I'm originally from Canada, in Ontario, southern Ontario. And when I lived there, I owned a chocolate shop. So I had nothing to do with gardening, but I grew up on an organic farm. And so I've always been around growing and nature, just always. And when I moved here and I moved into a small suburban property, I didn't realize how much I was used to having space and nature and green around me. So we eventually bought this property that is about 2 acres. And it's a very suburban area. Like, there are strip malls like 1 mile from me. I am in the middle of the suburbs. But we ended up finding this small dirt road that has just a few houses on it, on big lots, and it's been great. We did a bunch of house renovations, so the gardens have kind of taken a back seat. But this year, I have finished the big projects I wanted to get done in the house, and now I'm really full steam ahead on the garden. And I have big plans. I've actually created, which I should show you guys, this big vision board of everything I want to do in the garden, and I'm really hoping I can stay focused and work hard and get up early and get a lot of these big dreams this year accomplished. And what else about me? So I run a container gardening business. So I do work professionally in the garden industry, but it's all in container gardens. So I work seasonally. I do all 4 seasons, and we install container designs at people's. Actually, we do all residences now. At people's homes. So they usually subscribe for the whole year, and we go and we do different designs. We usually have a lookbook that goes out each season, and people kind of pick the style that they want. Anyway, it's a great business. It's great as a seasonal business. It allows me to still do a lot at home. So that's what I do professionally. And I'm trying to think what else about me. I'm married to my husband David of for 10 years. It'll be 11 years this year. And we have 3 sons, 2 older ones that are my stepsons, and 1 younger, Oliver, is our son together. He's 8, so we have 19, 17, and 8. um, oh, thank you about the greenhouse. Yeah, it is super cool to have this little greenhouse. I'm loving it. And oh, what else? Our house that we bought is like a ranch house, which has been great. We were not looking to buy a ranch house, but now that we have it, I can't imagine not living on one floor. I love it. What else? I do a lot of container designs because of the business around the house, so you can look for that on my channel this spring, summer, fall. I do a lot of them. I do less in the winter around my house anyway, just kind of where I see them, but and what else? Trying to think. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. You can see this is already getting almost completely sharpened. So, I mean, you could it's kind of like whittling wood here. You could sit forever. It's kind of actually very relaxing. Usually I'm not taking this much time. I'm usually just doing it quickly right before I'm going to use them. I kind of always forget to do these kind of small tasks through the winter. I always think about them, but then I get busy with other little things. So I'm happy that this live, I'm kind of tackling one of these small little projects. So I'm just going to keep whittling away here. I'm just doing this all in real time. Like I could go on to other ones, but I just figure I'll just kind of keep working here. So this one is almost done, and it is looking sharp, very sharp. I guess I will show maybe one that you use the different type of sharpening tools, but I kind of want to finish this one and be done with it because I will forget to go back and finish it. I know. I'm just gonna. So let me look at my list of the things I wrote down, the things to talk about. Oh, I know. I brought this out to show you guys. This is the book I am currently reading, and I am loving it. Somebody on my video, I have a video about garden books, like 7 garden books to read through the winter. Somebody had commented that they loved this book, so I went on and bought it, and I am loving it. It has been such a great winter read. She has a bit of a kind of nervous breakdown at, just in her life with her job and everything else. And she ends up moving out to the country. It takes place in England. She moves out to the country and they buy a little plot. And the neighbor has a large walled garden that he lets her garden in. And it kind of gets her out of her depression. And throughout the book, what I really like about the book is intermixed is she talks about what she's growing, and it has little recipes all the way through. Even though it reads like a novel, you'll have little recipes all the way through where she just writes out, what she's cooking, and they're great recipes. I have got so many good ideas on things I'm gonna cook this summer when I have my beds and beds of growing vegetables, fingers crossed, that I can add all the beds that I hope to add this summer with the amount of seeds that I purchased, because I went over the top. So in anticipation of building out these big gardens. So anyway, if you love sort of that garden to table, and you love cooking and you love seasonal recipes, really liked this book, because it's a book, but then there's the recipes in it too, which is really nice. So if you have any garden books that you have read this winter, I would love to know, because I am always on the lookout for more garden reads. I have lots of books that are just, you know, kind of like the how-to, and I love the ones that are kind of a bit more of just a story and what the garden means to somebody and how it fits in their life, and I just love stories like that. So anyway, I think these are done. These are looking super sharp. There was lots of like little indentations along here, and I've actually filed them all out, so I think this is great. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna just give these just a quick spray with this Felco spray you can buy that is like a lubricant for them. And you can just use a WD-40 if you want to too. I bought a kit that had everything in it, so I had them. So I'm just gonna spray these, and they are done. Okay, so I'm gonna go on to the next thing. First, I'm gonna have some wine. Delicious. I'm actually going to show you this wine because this wine is my favorite. It's a Blau Frankish, and they grow these grapes in Michigan, and I've actually wanted to try to grow them here, and I'm hoping when if I can ever get this dream greenhouse that I have, that I could also grow some different variety grapes, but this one is very cold tolerant. And so it's something I am going to try to experiment at some point when I have a structure to put it on, do some of these grapes, because I love this wine. It's kind of like a Pinot Noir, but it's grapier to me. It's just a really nice wine to drink. So I'm going to go on to the next tool that I'm going to do, which I think is going to be, maybe I'm going to do, I love these topiary shears. I use them for so many things, just cutting, but they have seen better days. So I am going to give these a little bit of a clean, and then I will go on to sharpening them. Oh, I'm going to use the scrubbing bubbles. Hang on a sec. Sorry, Tulip. Just all right. So I think while that is just sitting and doing its magic over there with the scrubbing bubbles, I am going to talk a little bit more about my garden dreams. I think while I'm on here, I've actually, I think, exhausted my list of the things I wrote down. I'll remember that for next time to maybe think of some others, or if I have some questions that people have asked me before. But so I'll talk a little bit about the dreams that I have for this garden. So I talked about the vegetable garden. I'm looking at adding maybe about 8 new beds if I can get them cut out. They're going to be not raised beds, but they're going to be in the ground beds, which should be interesting because when I grew up on the farm, we always had any type of, like, if there was any type of vegetable garden, it was just kind of, you know, at the edge of the field. So there was no raised beds or anything like that, but it was all cultivated and, you know, kind of ready to go. Whereas here, I'm going to be having to cut out all the turf. And your greenhouse is, oh, very nice. I'm just reading the comments here. It's kind of distracting a little bit. What was I going to say? Sorry. Oh, so this year I have to actually cut the beds out of the turf. I'm going to do the no dig method, and I'm going to just put down cardboard and put, you know, soil and compost on top of that. but I want to have paths. I don't want to have any grass that I have to mow. And right now it's all grass in the area. So I'm going to have to dig out those areas. I could put down plastic, and I might do that. Um, One thing to know about me, if you're watching my channel ever, is I have a real thing for like aesthetics. I have a hard time looking at ugly things, and to me, it's too high a price. Like, if something is easy but ugly, I will pick the harder thing just to have something attractive to look at, because it's just important to me that something looks nice as well as it functions. So I will probably dig out a little bit of the turf and put down probably wood chips, I think, because if I want to change anything with the beds, that's going to be the easiest way to kind of move things around. I would love to have gravel, and I will make the main path that I know will be staying for sure, that leads from my patio to the entrance of the shed as gravel, and I will have to dig all of that out, which will be a massive amount of work. But the rest of it, I think I'm just going to do as mulching paths. And so that's that big project. The more unknown about it is we have so many deer here, and to like one of the communities right next to us is actually having a call on the deer, because it is very bad. So if you deal with this, trust me, I feel your pain. It just relentless. And but I have a couple problems. One, the HOA who don't want you to have fences, and a lot of people just do them and don't worry about it. But to have a deer proof fence, you need an 8-foot fence. And going back to the sort of aesthetics thing, I do not, where I have flat ground to have the garden, I see right from where I sit most of the time. It's sort of the main living area of the house. I see that every day, and I don't want to look out at an 8-foot fence that feels like I'm in a prison camp. So what I want to do is I want to create what they call a deer baffle. So what it is 2 lower fences with a 3 to 4 foot path in between. So the deer are confused where, while deer can jump high, they can't jump high and wide, and they won't risk, damaging their legs or whatever to jump into an unknown. So at least that's the theory. So, from what I've been reading, if I have these 2 4-foot fences with the path in the middle is too narrow for them to jump into. And then they don't want to jump wide enough they can't see what's across the second fence. So my plan is this. I am going to put a 4-foot, just with the T-post fence. So it's easy to remove if I have some issue with the HOA. And then I'm going to put a hedge along with that. So the hedge will grow into the sort of cattle panel T-post fence situation. And I will keep that nice and clean and tidy, and so that will look nice. Then I'll have my 3 or 4 foot path, and then on the other side of that, I plan to put a raspberry and blackberry trellis. Ideally, I would love to have espalier trees on that part of the path, but they're expensive and take a long time, and I need to know that the system is going to work before I put too much money into it. So my plan is to put the blackberry raspberry hedge that I'll grow with a trellis. So they'll see the trellis and they will see the blackberries growing. And I'm hoping that that will keep them from jumping into the area. The next problem I have is the groundhogs, but I'm hoping I can secure all lower areas and dig underneath with the fence panel, with the chicken wire, and keep them out. So fingers crossed that that is going to work, and that is a huge project I have going on this summer. And I'm hoping some people who are looking at putting in a garden a new garden themselves this year will follow along with that. I'm hoping I can actually get it all done in time to plant for the season. If not, I will be making a large fall garden, I guess. I also thought I could get the beds going and I could put some row covers over them, but I had another friend who is a gardener said that she had the deer just like trample on all of the of the row covers and just kind of like chew through it. So I don't know if that's going to work. I can try it while I'm trying to get the fence up. That is the biggest project I have. I have one project that I started in the fall, and that will be just about putting a hedge up. I have a fountain going in. It's sort of like a little courtyard garden. But because this is such a big project, I don't want to take on too much. I tend to do that. I tend to take on a little too much. So I'm trying to restrain myself and stick to one area. And I really want to have this as the big project. So that is what's coming up for the 2026 season of the channel. And I think my shears are good now, so I'm going to go ahead and wash them. I'm going to look on the comments at the same time and see if I can see anything about any comments, but I don't. Nothing new. And I'm trying to think of something else to talk about. Some new things I'm growing this year are, one, I'm growing celery. I have never grown celery before, so that should be interesting. Other than that, I feel like, other than I'm growing a ton of tomato varieties that I have not tried, but that's typical. I feel like every year I buy a new kind of tomato variety. You can't really see me here doing this, but not that it's very exciting anyway. And I have I want to do a lot of garden to table type stuff this season. So I plan to do a lot of preserving. I have not done any fermenting before, and it kind of makes me nervous. I don't know why. I just have like visions of botulism, and so that's going to be a bit of an adventure for me, is doing the fermenting, but I'm looking forward to it. And so I will do a lot of stuff kind of in the kitchen as well with the harvest. That's my intention. And yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I kind of have planned for this season. Okay, so these have all been scrubbed down, and with the SOS pad. Now I'm going to use this type of file, and it's the same principle, it's just larger, and you're just gonna go straight across the blade in long stroke motions. So I can feel that it's getting later in the day because the greenhouse is getting cooler, even with the heater going off. This dream greenhouse that I have is, I would love to go grow tropical plants through the winter time and have a place to just go in the winter and feel like I'm away. When I'll show this in the summertime when I'm getting all the planters and everything potted up, but we have a large sort of pool deck, and I always put the sort of bright tropical colors and lots of tropical plants because I love it to feel like I'm somewhere different. And I love that about a greenhouse, that you can just feel like you're somewhere different, and just grow plants that I can't grow outside here, and just have that green through the winter time. I worked at an estate that had a greenhouse, and it was such a nice greenhouse. Um, and I was attached to their house. It was a conservatory, and they had these beautiful fountains. It was like 2 shell grottos covered in shells, with the water just trickled down through ferns and little shells into a big pool at the bottom. And it was so beautiful. I mean, I could never even hope to have something like that. But just the feeling that if I could have some, like a fountain or some type of running water in there, and I would love to have like some type of wood burning fireplace or something. I mean, these are big dreams, but yeah, it's just right now my humble little greenhouse is just lovely. So I can already tell here, so there's always the bevel, so you want to go kind of on the shape of the bevel, but I can see there was lots of little indentations along the blade, and this is just smoothing them all out. And then I'm going to go on the other side and run it along there so that they're nice and sharp. And always, every time you use any type of clipper or secateurs, you want to disinfect it. You can use just, I like to use just those Lysol wipes, but you can use just like rubbing alcohol or a spray, a disinfectant spray. This one is getting close to done. And sweet little Tulip has fallen asleep down here on her little mat. So cute. I wish I could show you her. Oh, she's so cute. I just don't want to move. I don't want to touch the phone or anything because I don't know if I'm going to mess something up. All right, so I'm almost done, and our live is almost done. We got about another 5 minutes. And I'm going to think if I can think of anything else to talk about in this live. It's much harder without questions. I can't think of anything. I'm trying to think of some other plans, maybe. This is getting very, very sharp. It is almost done. And then I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more things I think that I use regularly that I would want to get sharpened. And I'm going to call that one done. I think it's done. I'm just going to give it a quick spray, and then this one will be ready to go. Oh yeah, that's sharp. I'm gonna wipe it down. All right, well, I think that was a nice hour to get a few of the jobs done. I still got quite a few to do, but it's getting lighter and lighter every day. We're getting a little bit more daylight here. We're getting about almost 6 o'clock, which is nice. So I have another hour or so that I can work away at these tools. So I'm going to enjoy my wine, and I'm going to put on some music or a podcast, and I am going to finish up for the day. I hope you guys have had a wonderful Sunday, and if you are rooting for somebody in the Super Bowl, I hope they win, whoever they are. I don't even know who's playing, so but anyway, it was lovely to have you here if you joined me, and I hope to do